Never say never. Marriage will humble you. In the bustling town of Enugu, where modern buildings stood beside ancient compounds and village elders still settled disputes beneath the Nukwu Osisi tree, there lived a young woman named Adaeze. Adaeze was beauty wrapped in pride. She was educated, wealthy, and admired. She drove a shining black SUV, wore expensive perfumes from abroad, and spoke English with confidence that intimidated many men. Whenever women gathered to discuss marriage struggles, Adaeze would laugh loudly. "Could never be me," she would say, adjusting her designer sunglasses. "If marriage is suffering, let me remain single forever. No man can humble me." The married women would exchange quiet glances. Even her mother, Mama Ngozi, warned her gently one evening while peeling ukwa in their compound. "My daughter," she said softly, "the river that forgets its source will dry up. Never mock another woman's pain." But Adaeze rolled her eyes. "Mama, those women tolerate nonsense because they are weak." And the gossip spread across the community. "Adaeze talks as if she controls tomorrow," the women whispered at the market. "Pride walks ahead of destruction," an old widow muttered. Then one December, during the festive season, Adaeze met Chibuzor, a wealthy businessman from Lagos, tall, smooth-talking, generous. He arrived in convoys, sprayed money at weddings, and carried himself like royalty. Within weeks, Adaeze was deeply in love. The town exploded with envy. "See how God has favored her." Their wedding became the talk of southeastern Nigeria. The bridal train glittered. Traditional dancers filled the air with egwu drums. Cows were slaughtered. Champagne flowed like river water. Adaeze smiled proudly as villagers stared in admiration. Inside her heart, she whispered, "Marriage can never humble me." But barely 3 months after the wedding, the smiles began to crack. At first, it was small things. Chibuzor suddenly controlled what she wore. "You are my wife now," he would say coldly. "Respect yourself." Then came the late-night disappearances. He stopped answering calls. Sometimes he returned home at dawn, smelling of alcohol and strange perfume. One night, Adaeze confronted him. "Where were you?" Chibuzor stared at her with eyes she no longer recognized. "Do not question me like a child." Adaeze froze. That was the first time fear touched her heart. Soon his mother moved into their house. Nothing Adaeze did was good enough. "She cannot cook properly. She talks too much. She is barren." The words pierced like knives. Adaeze cried silently in luxurious bathrooms while posting smiling photos online. Outside, people admired her marriage. Inside, she was drowning. Then came the greatest shock. One rainy evening, Adaeze followed Chibuzor secretly after another suspicious phone call. Her heart pounded like festival drums. She watched him enter a hidden apartment. And there, a woman opened the door carrying a little boy. "Mummy, Daddy is here," the child shouted happily. Adaeze's world shattered. The wealthy husband she worshipped already had another family. That night, thunder shook the sky as Adaeze sat alone in her car, trembling with tears. For the first time in her life, she remembered the women she once mocked. The women hiding bruises behind makeup, the women forcing smiles at church, the women enduring silent heartbreak. Suddenly, their pain became real. When Adaeze returned to her mother's village, she broke down like a child. "Mama," she sobbed, "I am suffering." Mama Ngozi held her tightly. "My daughter," she whispered, "marriage is not a crown of gold for every woman. Sometimes it is a cross only heaven understands." Adaeze cried until morning. Days later, village women who once feared her now sat beside her in compassion. No mocking, no laughter, only understanding. One elderly woman spoke wisely. "The lizard that jumps from the iroko tree said it would praise itself if no one else did. But life humbles every creature eventually." Adaeze changed completely. She stopped insulting married women. She stopped measuring happiness by appearances. She learned compassion. Years later, she began counseling young women in churches and community gatherings. And whenever pride entered the room, Adaeze would smile sadly and say, "Never say never. Life has a way of teaching every human being humility." For truly, no one knows where the rain of life will begin to beat them. Moral lesson: never mock another person's struggle because tomorrow is hidden from all eyes. Pride blinds the heart, but humility brings wisdom. Marriage is not a competition, and appearances often hide deep pain. Compassion is greater than judgment.